From Carolla One Studios in Glendale, California, this is the Adam Carolla Show. Adam's guests today, Adam Ray and Brad Williams. With Gina GLAAD on news and Bald Bryan on sound effects, and now his Brillo hair is so thick, as a kid, it broke an unbreakable comb. Adam Carolla.
Yeah, get it on. Got to get it on. No choice but to get on. Mandate. You get it on. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for telling a friend. We love that about you, right, Gina GLAAD?
That's right.
Handball, Brian?
He's a gay man.
Oh.
Well, what am I grateful for? Coming off the comb talk. 57 years old, have a full head of hair.
You really do.
Don't get to. Many guys don't get to say that.
Some in this room.
Say 27 years old is too far of a bridge for me.
Yeah. And also, there's nothing to do with it. As I was thinking about how much of your life, we've sort of talked about it, but you've heard my jags on like Michelle Obama when she was first lady. I was like, tell everyone to go natural in the black community. The amount of money spent, the time, the products, you know.
Sure.
I mean, it is a major time suck. I mean, you got to go to the dry bar and blow it out. You know, you got to get out the hot comb. Yeah. I mean, whatever you're putting in to that hair, now, listen, I understand we're talking about an aesthetic here, but pick a realistic aesthetic, one you can live with your entire life, because the whole hair thing, that shit goes on from, 9 to 10 minutes after you die for the ladies.
So gross.
That's just a thing.
It's true.
You're going, it was so funny. My grandmother had this really fine, thin hair. It's so bizarre. My mom's side of the family has not only straight hair, but it's fine. You know what I mean? And there's a weird
kind
fine
of
line,
feathery.
pardon the pun, between balding, but just fine.
Yes.
Some people just have fine hair.
You can really see the scalp through it.
Yes, my mom has very fine, thin hair, and then I got the Sicilian Jufro up here. But as I was thinking about it, so I was sitting there having dinner last night with Sonny and old guy, and I said to Sonny, you get your goddamn haircut before we go to Monterey. I don't want to deal with that big bushy mop you have on your head looking all out of sorts while we're going to the Acura party where Jules playing an acoustic set. So I said, get your hair together and just get $20 and walk it over to the Fantastic Whatevers and get it cut short. And then I said, come here. And I grabbed his hair and I realized, he's going Jufro too. He's got the kinky, thick. See, puberty kicks in and then your hair kind of kicks in.
Yeah, it coils.
Your hair can kick in just like your body will kick in. As the guy becomes a man, all of a sudden there's a vein in his arm and his voice gets deeper and there's hair on his shins and stuff. Your hair will start making a move.
Indeed.
If you're going Jufro. Max Patter. Oh, no, Mike Lynch sent a picture of me. We were talking about those foam pills that strap to your back when you go in the pool.
Oh, yeah.
And they're just good for the coroner's assistant to fish you out with the gaffer's hook because they don't keep you above water. They actually they float while you're submerged. Yeah, Mike sent a picture of me and my sister from way back in the day with the with the Fresca.
Wait a second. Okay, first of all, that's adorable.
Those are dangerous.
That's the
that
dumbest
didn't make it
thing
to my
I've
era.
No, that is the dumbest thing I've
I try to
ever
tell
seen.
you guys, this is what this was. It's a foam pill-shaped thing. It's about 16 inches long. It's about 8 inches around.
It like buckles over your nipples.
And it just goes over your chest. And it is good for just literally fishing your corpse out of the pool. It does not keep your head above water in any way,
figured that out.
shape, or form. But
They don't have to dredge.
How did you have access to a nice pool?
Well, first off, every picture of a pool looks nice.
Right.
It's kind of like when you buy a car online or you buy a whore
Shiny,
online.
sure, shiny.
They put their best foot forward.
Yeah.
My grandparents had a non-heated pool that was about 4 foot deep at the deep end that somebody must have just hand dug in like 1942. But that was the only pool we had access to. So it was this little miniature pool. And the reason I bring up this picture is my hair's straight.
Yeah.
It's like normal hair, and my hair was normal until it went south, and then it went hard south.
Sorry, that looks like an oversized Fresca can.
I know I'm holding a can of Fresca, which is 1/3 the length of my entire body.
It's like a tall boy.
I'm 3 years old. We'll put the picture up at adamcarolla.com. But this just reminded me that I used to have straight hair. Well, Sonny used to have straight hair, but now it's going the way that my hair went. And so I had this thing where I like cut it short, kind of wear it like mine, and you'll never deal with it again. And then Olga said, you got to brush your hair, whatever. And I said, I don't
No,
brush my hair. And she
you
goes,
can't.
well, you got to brush it sometimes. I'm like, no.
You
Olga.
really, you
Then
really
I was
should
like,
know by
hey,
now.
woman, how many times you been in my bathroom? You ever seen a brush? She's like, no. I'm like, you ever see a comb? She's like, no. And she's like, you don't do anything? And I'm like, no.
No
I
pick?
just
You just
leave.
pointed.
I just get out of the pool or out of the shower or out of the cold tub or whatever, put a little water in it, and I leave the house.
As much as I'd like to give you the credit for that, I would assume all the credit can go to Olga's daughter.
Well, she cuts a mean head of hair, but I can go to the cheapest barber on the darkest corner and just
The
get the
dark web.
exact same haircut that I get wherever, whenever. So just cut it short on the sides, a little long on the top, and put a little water in it, and I will walk out of the house that way. And she was like, you don't comb, whatever. And then I realized, oh, I've saved millions of hours over the course of my life not dealing with it
Yeah.
at all.
You and
like
Brian both.
it is
it's true.
the time that I deal with my hair before I leave the house is at essentially zero, and it has been since I was in the 10th grade.
Wow.
So the folks who have to do all the blowing and all the combing and all the things and all the stuff, or the guys that are losing it, that are trying to comb it over or patch it in, look at that. I mean, literally just extrapolate that over your entire adult life and realize, we're talking about, you could have an advanced degree, you could learn Mandarin, Chinese, you could play classical piano.
Yeah.
I mean, the stuff you could have, not that you'll do anything with that
No.
time, but what I'm saying is it adds up. So anyway, I'm grateful for my hair. I'm also grateful that Sonny's got a nice mop on him. And thankfully, Natalia just has nice, long, straight hair.
Yeah.
Because it's tough when the girls go frizzy. They
It
look like
sure
Roseanne,
is.
Rosanna Dan.
Thank you.
Yes. And
Know it well.
I will say that having a man's head of hair, because I feel your pain, sister, because if you were around at a certain era and you were trying to go like the Cassidy brothers,
Oh, good luck.
everyone had the feathered hair,
the
whatever.
corn
So then
silk.
the guys did have to get out the blow dryer
Yeah.
and fight the Jufro.
Right.
Do the whole thing.
That was wasted youth. So there's that.
The bald head is remarkably efficient, I will say. That what I've saved in haircuts sounds like a joke, but seriously, I have the razor, the electric razor, takes down to the stubble 2-3 times a week, and got down to about 7 minutes.
Wow.
That's all the prep I need. A little bit of sunblock on the top, you know what I mean? I'm out the door.
Then it's right into show prep
That's right.
and praying up bald heads. All right.
Finally paid off.
We have, I was watching my favorite show, TMZ, yesterday, and they do this sort of cold opening where they all sit in the bullpen and they bounce off, they tease, here's what's coming up. And there's another.
Hey,
You know that guy.
Yeah. There's another. Wait, what's his name? Derek, that's right.
He's been on.
Derek's been on. Yeah, Derek's on. Anyway, the reason what jumped out to me on this cold opening is Matt Damon has got himself into trouble again. The first bit of trouble he got into was just saying Al Franken and Harvey Weinstein aren't the same human being. Out. This one is him saying fag when he was in junior high or something.
And the lesson he learned for not doing that anymore. People forget that part.
But the whole point is you can't even try to explain to people things anymore. It's just, that's done.
Yep.
You said
Well,
we
what I
thought
meant
something.
Was, you said the word.
Yeah.
Well, I was trying to explain to you.
We thought something, and you'll never unring this bell. But the problem that I've always said is it's not it's not them. It's sort of everyone around them, you know, because everyone around should be a universal chorus of somewhere between who gives a fuck and who gives a shit. But people like join in like, well, he should have known. Let me wring my hands a little bit. And then it becomes something, but it's not. And I don't think the people saying it think it's something. They just kind of go, I don't want to be on the wrong side of. There's one guy being thrown into a well. I don't want to get thrown in a well, so I'll just say he deserved to be thrown into a well.
I'll just point my finger.
Right. So this is the cold open. And they'll lay out the story, but it's the end that you have to listen for, because at the end, I thought someone was going to be reasonable, but they took a little turn. Oh. And they actually use an example that I bring up from occasionally, but not in the right way. So we'll just play for you.
Matt Damon tried to backtrack about using the F word, the homophobic slur in the past, but GLAAD's not buying it. So here's what he had to say. I have never called anyone the F word in my personal life.
Is the distinction here, I've never said it to somebody's face, but he's not saying whether he's used it or not.
That's like people who say they'll say the N word when they're rapping with their favorite song, but I would never call somebody that. Bad either way, don't do it.
Now, that is incorrect. Because it is the same in that you never call someone the N-word. But boy, my daughter's into Kanye West.
Oh, boy.
And when we get in the car and go for those drives, it's Kanye, it's the new album, it's the first album, it's the middle album.
Jay-Z.
And it is N-Bomb City.
It's in the album
And
title.
she doesn't sing along, but there's a huge distinction between calling somebody that and singing lyrics to a song. Like it's in the song, you're a fan of the person, you're singing along. So I wish we could start. To me, it kind of it's part and parcel of the blackface thing. Like, it's not a minstrel show; it's Oprah, or it's Sammy Davis Jr. Right. It's not blackface. Like
Mr. T.
Let's give some context to things here. Anyway, poor Matt Damon. He opened his mouth, and now there's this again.
Well, and that's the thing I don't understand, because if the interview was that I was talking to my daughter and we used to say this word, and he said like she went up to her room and wrote a treatise or whatever, a treatise about not doing that anymore.
His daughter tuned him up, I think.
Right. That was the point of the interview, and GLAAD's not buying it? What am I missing?
Well, first off, they ironically named GLAAD because there's no more miserable group of people on the planet. Like, who has less of a sense of humor than fucking GLAAD? Yeah. Somebody should sue them for that name. Like, you guys shouldn't be called GLAAD. You're the most miserable fucks on the planet. You call yourself GLAAD.
Libel.
Yeah. Like, it'd be like calling a slaughterhouse a spa for cows. Ugh. GLAAD. Ugh. But either way.
It's very euphemistic.
Yes, Matt Damon.
I like his personal life. Like, that suggests that he knows that somewhere, like, he did an early movie or he said the word, on screen or something.
It's in Stuck on You or something like that.
One of his best.
There you have it.
It's in the script, though. Either way.
Oh,
all right. This is progress, everyone.
Speaking of that, Chris, I don't mean to. I sent you something last night or this morning. Would you mind pulling it up? Because
yes, give me a minute.
We cannot move on from this subject without you seeing this. Mm-hmm. I was on one of my favorite sites, which is, like old commercials. This was an old movie of the week that has not aged well, starring Tyne Daly. And I am, because of our conversation right now.
Cagney and Lacey.
Thank you. I would be remiss not to show this to you. This is 1981, maybe 1982. This is Ernest. This is a very serious script. There's no parody.
Oh, after you said Ernest, I was praying you were going to say goes to.
Right.
Then I would have been all in.
No, I'm sorry. No, this is the opposite. She is serious about her point of view, or at least she was as the character. And I would really love for you guys to see it.
What year are we talking about here?
I think it's 1981.
87.
87, sorry.
All right.
1987, Tyne Daly stars as a mother of a particular kind of child.
You guys forgot about all the movies of the week.
They're the
were
best.
Utterly insane.
The best.
The best.
My favorites were always, of course, Meredith Baxter Birney as a bulimic goes down in history as the best.
There was a lot of Portrait of a Teenage Runaway, Portrait of a Teenage Prostitute, a lot of portraits going on.
I don't think I saw
amazing.
a single one.
Oh God, I live for these.
Of course, I'm familiar with the
Then there was
concept.
then the slug line is the one you got to read. It's like killer bees, and then it'd be like Gertrude. They pick some. Olivia de Havilland has a mysterious minion over a flock of bees and has them do her bidding. Like, what? Somebody wrote this? I mean, look, Killdozer.
Yeah.
But it's a bulldozer that an alien has possessed, and now it's killing
I'm
people.
all
It's
in.
called
Right,
Killdozer.
right.
Like, the movies were insane.
Yeah, so this-
those amazing Dobermans.
Oh, right, at the mall.
The guy. Well, no.
Oh.
Those amazing Dobermans. Actually, I kind of like this one. The guy back. By the way, Dobermans used to be the dog.
Right.
The pit bulls got a
No.
publicist.
Never
and
talked to. Yeah.
Dobermans are all gone now.
Yeah.
But this guy trained Dobermans to rob a bank.
Oh, that is amazing.
So like one would start growling at everyone, like back off, and the other would go up and they'd put the satchel of money around their neck. Like now, the one you're thinking about was like Trapped or something. That's our favorite James Brolin, and he was trapped in a department
That's the
store. When for security they would just let dogs go in the middle of the night.
Sure.
All right,
Wander
sorry.
free.
Okay, this is a serious Sunday night, movie of the week, starring Tyne Daly, and the movie is called Kids Like These.
All right.
Sometimes life gives you something special
No. It's not possible that I've had a retarded.
if you have the courage to see it.
There's a new attitude nowadays about Down syndrome kids.
It seemed insurmountable, the uphill struggle one family chose to face.
Not only did I not get a girl, they didn't even give me a whole boy.
Can she turn anger into triumph?
I had such dreams.
Emmy Award winner Tyne Daly and Richard Crenna star in
Richard Crenna.
Kids Like These next Sunday.
Wow.
So there you go.
You got half a kid.
The half a kid didn't even get a credit.
I know.
Richard Kenna.
Crenna, yeah.
So just didn't want that to
Wow.
pass by.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Yeah.
Well, now you got to look up Killer Bees, those amazing Dobermans. Was it Trapped with James Brolin?
Was those amazing
Killdozer.
Dobermans supposed to be like the Apple Dumpling Gang, or was it supposed to be a real action movie?
Oh, the amazing Dobermans. Yeah, well, look at the poster, Gina.
Pretty
Is
sweet.
that scream Don Knotts on a horse
a
to
ring
you?
of fire.
or-
It's
Right.
just such a stupid premise. I thought it had to be, an old Tim Conway Sr. bit or something.
Dobermans were a big deal, man.
Is that a stick of dynamite?
Yeah, he's blowing up the bank.
Obviously.
And a gun in the other Doberman's mouth.
Yeah, well, first off, they used to take wild creative license with posters on
Oh,
movies
yes.
back then. Like Raquel Welch is nude and riding a hippo. Like that's not in the that's not in the movie.
I'd like
They
to see
just-
this scene.
There is no Doberman with a gun in its mouth, or stick of dynamite. I don't think, but they do.
Even the famous Star Wars poster with Mark Hamill built like a brick shit house.
Right,
It's like,
right.
that guy's fucking 17 and scrawny.
Yes, they're back in action in the most amazing Commando
Canine Caper.
Canine Caper. Oh, alliteration. Nice. Yeah, he trained a guy trained them to rob banks.
Wow.
I think people were so beaked out of their mind on coke back then, they just
Yeah.
went, fuck it. And also, what are you going to do? Switch a channel and watch the Dukes of Hazzard?
When
Your
you-
options are limited.
Yeah.
What are we up against? The Sopranos here?
No.
There's nothing on. You watch what we give you.
Yeah.
Yeah, the movies of the week were always best. And they would always just have, they had the staple of dudes. Bob Urich would be one of those guys from like Dan Tana and all that kind of stuff. Anyway, the hell. If you find any of those, tell me, Max Zapata. Speaking of Gina, do you have any? You got a Ryad.
Oh, yeah.
We got some. I don't know if you got Cuomo in your news. I was looking for some Cuomo clips. I don't know if Max Zapata's found them yet.
Yeah, we're still cutting it. There's the transcript.
I wasn't going to
Okay.
do any new Cuomo.
Okay, well, there's nothing new. It's just Cuomo stuff. It was kind of weird. There's a couple things kind of buzzing around the news. They had like the AG come in and do a report with some congressman or something like that. It's sort of it always gets comical when they're describing what he was doing. The descriptions are somewhere between nothing and a 2. With the descriptions of like he stood behind this woman who was his security guard or whatever in the elevator, and he dragged his finger from her neck down her spine. And it's like, kind of go. By the way,
it's weird.
Creepy.
It's a little weird, but it's also kind of shit anyone could do contextually. Like, I don't know, like, maybe it's just me from working on the Man Show, but there's shit. There was another one where it's like she held the door open and he dragged his hand across her belly. Again, creepy, but it's also, you could see if the person had both hands up and you walked past them. Like, if Matt Fondelier did it, everyone would just be laughing or not give a shit. This is part of the problem when I tell you, when you become sort of creepy guy or you're an asshole boss. When you're an asshole boss, you get a real short leash when this shit goes down. When you're cool boss, this kind of stuff falls under the heading of sort of hijinks or something.
And even himself, he put that supercut together of how he's always molesting people. It doesn't matter if they're women.
It's funny. Everyone is like, that's outrageous that he would insult these people by doing that. But it's like, well, it kind of makes his point.
Yeah,
he just grabs
it really did.
everyone by the face, by the jowls, and gives them a kiss
point,
on them.
But made nonetheless.
Yeah. So we'll see if we can find that. You got another spot?
Yeah, this is a series of like poster ads that I'd never seen before. And I think their point, like Madison Avenue in, I don't know, the 70s, maybe the 60s. It's a great ad. Another one that probably wouldn't fly now. I believe the brand is Levi's Rye Bread. And we'll just kind of go through some of the pictures. The caption is, "You don't have to be Jewish to love Levi's." The first one is a black dude holding corned beef on rye.
And if you could possibly find...
what I imagine is an Irish cop.
Levi's?
Levi's. Keep going.
If you could find a black guy who was used as a model to do like insulting posters from the 20s.
Yeah.
That's what this black guy looks
He's
like.
a holdover.
Right.
Right. So they have the Asian guy.
I think there's an Indian chief in there.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Oh, look.
Yeah, couldn't do it anymore.
Yeah.
Although half this shit that our panties are in a bunch about, most of it is sort of like, no shit. Like, this feels progressive to me. It was.
Totally agree.
It probably was
for the time.
progressive
Yeah.
back then. And we're now just getting pissed off because you're talking about a culture and showing something else or doing something. But it's like, well, what are they saying? They're saying we will include everybody, and everyone likes a pastrami sandwich.
And I can't figure out what the problem would be with it. I just know there would be a problem with it.
Well, somebody would have a problem, and then everyone would have to snap into action,
right?
Which is the new world order, which is what amount of people care about the bread or Matt Damon? You know what I mean? Like, who really, you know? But also, like, in bigger kind of global things, like, who wants to defund the police? Like, 5 really loud people. Everyone else is like, fuck that.
Yeah.
But they're making the most noise,
right?
You know, or they're the ones with the bullhorns. All right, let's see. Something did we find that Dolly Parton clip, Max Spada?
It's getting sent to us, so I'm just waiting on it.
Oh, is that stuff just not all up somewhere online?
Yeah, correct.
I was doing, well, if I do something like that, just capture it next time, Max Zapata.
Yeah.
Just in general. Someone has a update. Oh, on the WeSpa incident,
please.
that one on Wilshire sparked much debate in studio. Will, 39, Los Angeles.
Hi, guys.
Hi, Guy.
So I just wanted to kind of give you a semi-heads up. Adam, I used to live in K-Town back in 2014.
Koreatown.
2013.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, Koreatown. And back then, you know, WeSpa was primarily just all Korean Americans. You would hardly ever see a round eye, maybe here and there, but it was primarily just a bunch of Korean Americans. And it was like, you know, a place to be if you're in K-Town.
This is the spa that had the transgender who still had all his junk going to the lady side. And we're trying to figure out if it's a provocateur or just a guy who wanted a peep show, free peep show, or just a nutty person, or if it ever happened at all. That was all over the news a month ago.
Will, did you ever go to WeSpa? You seem to know a lot about it.
Yes, like we would go. My family and I would go like weekly because we lived a couple of blocks away.
There you go.
Now our place that we used to live is now in the encampment off of Vermont. So we're glad we got out of there. But basically, it was, like I said, it was a place for Koreans to hang out. And over time, you start to see a little bit more of the round eye come in, and more Koreans were like, this place is not for us anymore because it became a little bit too popular.
Mm-hmm.
And with the round eye coming in, they weren't treating the place with a bit, some respect, and that turned off a lot of Korean Americans, and they started marketing towards, the round eye. And nowadays, nobody in K-Town goes there. You're hardly going to see, Koreans with their families go there anymore. That's dead.
It's very mainstream.
Well, the problem. Well, what happens is the round eye, as you call us. We go to the Burke Williams in Sherman Oaks, and it's like $180, and then someone goes, "No, for $40, you can go down to get a whatever."
You
and
can
you're
sleep there.
Yeah, and you're like, "Really, $40?" Like, yeah, for $40.
And the floor is heated.
So then the round eye starts figuring it out and comes in and usurps the culture.
Well, if it makes a difference, I started going because I was with my Korean friends, and yes, I at the time was one of the only white chicks, but I think those days are over.
Yeah, but it's okay, Gina. You're kissed in. You're part of the club.
All right.
But the last thing I was going to say is the update is that, K-Town is a very small community, and a lot of the business owners it's a very tight-knit community. And I'll just say there's been some discussions that the owners of WeSpa are contemplating just shutting it down. They don't want to be the center of this circus. I think over the weekend, there was some transgender, musical performance performed out in the front of WeSpa, and with all the fighting and the Antifa riots, they don't want to be dealing with this. This is not something they anticipated. So there's been some discussions that they're just saying, hey, we're just going to close up shop. This isn't worth it anymore.
Wow,
it's unfortunate.
Yeah, that's sad, but yeah, I mean we're kind of living. I mean, imagine being. Hey, thanks for the call, Will.
Yeah.
Imagine being a small business owner these days. You know what I mean?
It's a minefield.
First off, it's like you're dealing with the city. The city has banned outdoor dining, but there's a homeless encampment living on the sidewalk in front of you. And then you go, well, I'm going to put a hedge up so people can eat outside, and the homeless, and they're like, you got to get a permit for that. And then, God forbid, you end up on TMZ, and the next thing you know, the wackadoodles have all come down from both sides of the equation to protest outside your thing.
And then they literally put sandbags in front of your door, and then they evict you.
And then they put a fence around it, and then there's no grab bar in one of the stalls, and some guy. And by the way, Mark will tell you because he owns businesses. There's guys who just made a cottage industry of exploiting the system, and of course, California is so progressive that if a guy goes in and there's no bar and he's in a wheelchair, then you're getting sued. And then there's just attorneys that just specialize in the money grab. And it's like, you just kind of go like, fuck it, right?
Yeah, who needs that?
Yeah.
There's no worth the risk.
I agree. All right, let me hit Simply Safe. We'll see if we can find those clips I was looking for, Max Zapata. Let me hit Simply Safe. Their founders, Chad and Eleanor Lawrence, designed their first security system in their kitchen because they had a friend that got their home broken into. I think these guys were at Harvard. I mean, these were like Ivy League guys, and a friend of theirs got their home broken into, and there wasn't a good system out there. So they made one. They've been making people feel safe ever since. They've been doing it for over 15 years. It's a passion to protect people. It drives every engineering detail and customer interaction. Simply Safe has highly trained security experts ready whenever you need them during a fire, burglary, medical emergency, or just setting up the system. My listeners get 20% off and get the first month free when you sign up for interactive monitoring service. So you visit simplysafe.com/Adam, get your custom system, and start protecting your home and family, and get the 20% off at simplysafe.com/Adam. All right, we will take ourselves a quick break.
It's time to check Adam's voicemail.
Hey, Gina Bald. Hey, you guys were talking about the ring around the collar commercials. Think back about the same time period, a commercial that would never be played today. It was the Throuples Smokers Tooth Polish. Check it out. Get it on.
You can leave us a message at 888-634-1744.
I think we covered that one, didn't we?
I don't recall doing it on this show, but I do remember that tooth polish.
Oh, maybe I maybe covered it with Drew. It was great. You couldn't make this commercial today. Do you know why you couldn't make this commercial today?
Because it's so smoker friendly.
Well, they smoke in it.
Yeah.
You can't show someone smoking.
Right.
You could not show somebody smoking
Doesn't
if
he-
you were trying to sell toothpaste for smokers.
Right.
Doesn't he blow cigarette smoke through a pair of underpants or something?
Well,
My
that's in your
God.
mind. It's a handkerchief.
Okay.
Fucking weirdo.
Weird fantasy.
Puts a pair of panties on his head. Yeah, it's the smokers. It's the smoker's toothpaste. He takes a draw off a cigarette, puts a white handkerchief in front of him.
I remember this.
That's right.
What comes from cigar or cigarette smoke. Just think what smoking a pack a day, every day, could do to your teeth.
Lungs.
It looks like
Here's
underpants.
Topol, the smoker's tooth
No, it
polish
doesn't.
that helps remove all kinds of superficial tobacco stains. Topol starts to work immediately to clean your teeth and to help remove these stains. Just use Topol week after week and watch your teeth get brighter and brighter. Topol, the smoker's tooth polish, now in 3-ounce regular or 7-ounce fluoride.
With this ashtray. I remember that commercial. It had to be on during either Falcon Crest or Dallas because that's what I would watch with my mom at night. So I remember that commercial.
I remember it from my youth as well. It's funny. All you had to do is, all you need was a little hook, a little gag. Like that guy blew cigarette smoke through underpants, through a handkerchief. And it's like, look at it.
Yeah.
It's the color you'd think it would be. All right. Let's see. Nick, line 2, El Centro. Nick. Nick up. Nick, you there?
Hello? Yeah, I'm here. How's it going, guys?
Hi, guy.
Thanks for taking my call. Adam, I just wanted to get your thoughts on the new Loveline going woke. I don't know if you followed up with them lately, but a lot of their content on social media is far left propaganda, pro Black Lives Matter, pro victim culture, and all that stuff.
What is the new Loveline?
It was a show you were on.
The new Loveline. Okay. Dawson's applauding.
I cannot tell you. I've told you guys this a million times. God forbid I drop an and or an at. You know, like if I go in and like Olga goes, "You want pancakes?" I go, "What's pancakes?" And she'll go, "They're round things that go in a pan." Like it's like I wasn't born 8 minutes ago. I'm not clinically insane, and I make my life on a stage with a fucking microphone in my hand, needing to know everything. I'm not asking what Loveline is.
It's regarding Henry.
One big cookie.
It's in Loveline. That's the show you're on for over a decade. Oh,
Loveline.
I'm starting to get it. Keep going.
I always called it the Loveline.
Lovelines.
Well, anyway, so if that's what we're talking about, yeah. Dr. Dre used to, or what's that guy's name from the Topol commercial? I know people.
Right.
People, it's right up there. It's right up there with the human being where you go, listen, I'm just saying, you want to go hang your own shingle and quit your job, there may be consequences. Consequences?
What's a consequence?
Okay, fuck, I swallowed while I was talking. Or is that just if you hear me pronounce it that way 9 times, then raise your hand.
Yeah.
I happen to inhale. Sorry. Who are those? Who are those?
It's the worst.
9 times.
Boy.
So, was I on Love Phones?
Nick?
Yes. Sorry.
Okay. So, we've now established through our lengthy research that I was one of the pillars of the Loveline franchise for over a decade. Yes.
And you said there's a new Loveline.
Yes. What is the new Loveline?
Well, it's, I guess, a reiteration of the show.
Where's my
the
steno
original,
pen? So saying it's a
with, like,
newer version of...
Yeah, I don't know.
Am I on
don't
that
follow
one?
the
or-
show, but I don't listen to it. I don't think anyone does these days.
Is
If you
it
go
on-
on their page? It's pretty empty.
Nick, it's on the
But,
radio?
Sorry?
It's on the radio?
I think so, yeah.
And do you know who the hosts are?
I got it pulled up here on
Okay,
Twitter. It's
great.
Dr. Chris Donahue.
Okay.
And it does not say whether it's on the air or what stations, but it does have a phone number to call with your questions for the show. So they got to be on there somewhere, I guess.
Wow.
Mm-hmm. All right. Well, thank you for that wellspring of info, and insights, Nick. Look, you got to go woke. Everything's going woke these days. So why shouldn't Loveline? They're always on the vanguard of sort of stuff. Why not be on the vanguard of this stuff? I'm sure they don't believe anything they say, but you got to go woke.
How are we even to know? Nick doesn't listen to the show. He doesn't know who's the
Not
host.
sure if it's on, doesn't know who the hosts are. Yeah, do a little legwork, Nick, before you call in next time.
All right. Sorry about that, guys.
It's all good.
It's okay.
All right. It's okay.
Thanks
buddy.
for the call.
Thank you.
This could also just be the name that he gave his show, because, I don't know where it's on either.
Wow.
As we know, radio copyright laws are loosely enforced.
Looks like an online thing, radio.com kind of.
Yeah, they tried to keep it going with Amber Rose.
Oh, yeah. Whatever happened to her?
She turned 40 or something.
Yep, sure.
Amber Rose was the buxom woman of color, was like bald and kind of leading the charge.
Am I going insane, or was there a story about you waiting for the bathroom when she was outside of the bathroom?
Oh.
Am I having a stroke?
Yeah. No. That was me in New York, and I was doing some sort of podcasting symposium or something, and they brought in radio people or podcast people or something, and I think I went to go use the bathroom to change. Like I got off the flight when now it's time to do a symposium. I'm going to put the shirt with the buttons on the collar on, and it was some version of I went to the bathroom and locked the door. And I was changing, and she did I think she tried the doorknob and it was locked. And then it was like a commercial building and the door was locked. So then she knocked on the door and wanted to know who was in there.
Oh.
And then I said, I'm just changing. And she was like, how long is this going to, and it was if you're in a commercial building and the door's locked, someone's in there,
That says it all.
or you got to
Feel
get the
free to
key.
find
You
another
got to
one.
get the key from the receptionist.
Right.
It's no need to pound on the door and have a conversation. It was some version of that. All right, we got our Cuomo clip figured out. We have Raj, who's 30 from India.
Ooh.
Raj.
Hi, Adam. How are you doing?
Hi, Raj. Hey. Was
big
that
friend,
Raj?
Big fan. Years ago, I was introduced to you by a very dear friend of mine, Nicholas, about whom I just got the news that he's no more. You were the only person that he had a great time listening to you. So just wanted to thank you for that.
What happened?
He never called you. So
yeah, what happened to Nicholas?
He was he was under severe depression, and I just got the news a couple of hours ago that he's no more.
Oh.
So just wanted to thank you, man. I mean, he had a really good time listening to you. He introduced me to you, Loveline. Just wanted to thank you, man. I mean,
thanks, Raj. Wait, was I on Loveline?
We'll check the tape.
We'll ask
Chris,
Raj.
get on that. Google us right.
Raj, what are you doing over there in India?
Adam, I'm a mechanical engineer. I work for this agri-robotic startup. So we are building some robots for Indian farms.
That doesn't track.
You're building robots, did you say for farms?
That's correct. To be used in agricultural purposes, robots.
Yeah, until they rise up and take over that farm.
Overlords.
Yeah, that sounds like a kind of fun job. Is it fun like it sounds like it would be?
Oh, yeah, definitely it is. I mean, you see robots everywhere, and then you have farmers, especially Indian farmers, where, things are not that great.
Yeah.
So, robots working in farms are definitely going to help the farmers. I mean, they're helping farmers in the United States. Surely down the line, they'll be helping farmers in India. So that's the goal.
Yeah, well, you guys need help on your farms because you don't share a border with Mexico. So there ain't no more vans with 28 dudes in it heading your way. They got to hop on a barge.
Well, we do have some localized Mexicans down at Pakistan. So,
do you? So so as I always say, who are your Mexicans? Everyone gets offended. But then once I explain to them what I'm saying, who does all the work? Who does the gardening? Who? When you drive in your neighborhood and there's a crew putting a block wall together, like what is the nationality of that crew? Now, India, I would just think poor Indians.
He said Pakistan.
That's what you got?
nah, I mean, so I said Pakistan because they are the ones who are trying to cross the border. But if to answer Adam's question, we are 1.3 billion people, so we have our own people doing that. The nationality is Indian.
And what time is it? What's the time difference? Never asked that question.
I mean, it's 2:15 a.m. over here right now.
Oh, wow.
All right, so it's 12 and a half hours?
It can't be a half.
Yep.
That's a half?
I don't know if it's 2:15.
Yeah, depending on the place. Like if you're in the eastern coast, then it's half. When you're in Texas, there's no half, and down at the western coast, you're again half.
TV must be so confusing.
It's 2:15 in India.
Wow.
Wow.
Yep.
How was I one of the dumbest kids in my school? Like one of the dumbest.
That's
There's
the only
like
reason I
7
wanted
of
to
us
call.
out of
He never
600.
called
I was
you
in that
when he was
group.
live. I just wanted to thank you. He had a good time listening to you, so thanks a lot, Adam.
Well, what's his name again?
Nick, I would not want to disclose his full name.
All right.
But his name was Nicholas.
Well, thanks, Nicholas, and thanks for spreading the word to Raj over here. And thanks for calling in, Raj. I
We
appreciate it.
Thanks, Adam. You have a good time.
Our pleasure.
Wow.
All right, we have that Cuomo clips, a little montage. So who's up there? It's the I don't know, DOJ or Department of whatever.
Was that the
Attorney General, State Attorney General.
Letitia James or something?
Yeah,
Deputy
so they're giving the whole. So everyone is going nuts on Cuomo, and I don't I don't like Cuomo because I think he's like a weird pompous ass. It's also insane that he got an Emmy. That's how fucked up Hollywood is. Our two favorite guys of Hollywood's favorite guys are like if you just like if you only here's all right. All you need to know about The View and whether you should get your information from The View. Their two favorite human beings, 2 years running. Cuomo, and before that, Michael Avenatti. Those are the two. Those are the stars in their galaxy. They look forward to interviewing them. They like, oh, he's so handsome. He should run.
They want to set him up with somebody.
The two fucking people you nut jobs fawned over in the last 2 years are Cuomo and Avenatti. So next time you fawn over somebody,
the red flag.
Maybe I'll raise an eyebrow.
Yeah.
Yes, everyone fawned over Cuomo. I didn't, but also to be even-handed, look, there was one in there where it's like allegation of putting the hand up the sweater. That's something.
Mm-hmm.
The others were, well, we'll play the montage here. Oh, it's just a clip. Sorry.
The governor also several times inappropriately touched a state trooper assigned to the unit to protect the governor.
Well, what'd he do?
In an elevator, while standing behind the trooper, he ran his finger from her neck down her spine and said, "Hey, you." Another time, she was standing holding the door
Hold on,
open for
Fatty Arbuckle's turning over in his grave. Like, fucking dragged his finger down her spine and said, "Hey, you." All right.
governor. As he passed, he took his open hand.
Oh, you can bring it back. Sorry, I stepped on it.
The unit to protect the governor. In an elevator, while standing behind the trooper, he ran his finger from her neck down her spine and said, "Hey, you." Another time, she was standing holding the door open for the governor. As he passed, he took his open hand and ran it across her stomach from her belly button to the hip where she keeps her gun.
That's just a cross.
She told us that she felt completely violated to have the governor touch her, as she put it, between her chest and her privates.
So there's a fair amount of real estate between your tits and your privates, but it sounds like she had her hands on the door and he walked by and gave her the Hanson brother move from Slapshot.
Yeah,
just
the
sort of
penalty
drag.
box.
You know, but also his open hand. Well, what, his fist? Or him holding a ping pong paddle? Like, like
finger gun. Pew pew.
All right. This doesn't sound like gang rape to me. But,
no, but I got to tell you, if I was alone in the elevator with him and I just felt a hand going down my spine going, "Hey, you," I'd be like, "Get the fuck away from me."
Well, you wouldn't have said anything, Gina. But let's be honest. No, what I'm saying, you have low self-esteem. That's why you're here. No,
Yeah.
the point is this.
That's gross, though.
Well, he can go. He could do a "hey you," but he could also go "hey you," like he could be standing behind her and fucking
Is that
around.
something you do? Hey, you.
Listen, if you have a relationship with someone, like if you spend a lot of time with someone and they get in front of you in an elevator and they turn their back to you, there's plenty of guys who would like massage. You know, I've had a million women like give me the spontaneous neck, trapezoid, whatever, or something. I'm not saying there's a creepy version of it, but we don't know if this is the creepy version. There's a non-creepy version of it that everyone we know, including ourselves, have all engaged in
But
at some
I feel like
point.
if it was, well, this could be another can of worms, but if it wasn't
I think he's a creep. Like, don't get me wrong.
No, I won't.
I'm just saying when we're piling on in the he must be brought to justice, the finger in the elevator with the "hey you" in court, I don't know what that's going to sound like.
If it wasn't the creepy version, she wouldn't have said anything. Like, I have guy friends and I've had guy coworkers my entire life, and the shit we say and do to each other is just disgusting. So it wouldn't be in my best interest or their best interest to say that, because we're just joking around.
But you can do the non-creepy version of it that gets converted to creepy when you're a dick. Like,
based on who you are.
dicky dudes can't
That's
pull
math.
that shit off. I've always said that. Creepy guys or dicky guys you don't like can't do it. That's so. What happens is he's rubbed everyone the wrong way, made a ton of enemies, and been a dick. Yep. And now everyone's just coming out with all the stuff because nobody liked him, which ultimately is his fault. I'm just saying, in court, I don't know. I'm not sure how the "hey you" on the spine works.
Hey, you.
You remember that SNL commercial, Bald Brian?
Which one?
"Hey you."
No.
Oh, the encyclopedia of SNL.
Is this a recent one?
Old school.
No, I gotta see it. No. What's "hey you"?
It's the perfume for one-night stands.
Is it like Phil Hartman?
You don't remember that one?
No, it sounds vaguely familiar. Is this like 70s era?
Yeah, it's early. It's early SNL, but still one of their better commercials. It didn't get the Bassomatic type play, but "hey you" is the perfume for one-night stands. They're at a bar, crowded bar. Everyone's smoking.
Sometimes they might just want a little company for the evening.
Oh, yeah.
Gilda Radner sitting alone.
She sprays on a little "hey you" and the guy turns his head.
And mouths it, I think.
Just one whiff. That's the trick.
He says,
Those
damn.
occasions when you
Black
can't
guy.
afford to be subtle.
Yep.
Hey, you.
Is that Harry Shearer?
The scent you can't ignore.
Yeah, it looks like Harry Shearer. Bunch of guys at the bar noticing her.
That's funny.
It has a button at the end.
Looks like Peter
He's
Facinelli.
Crossing over the bar, talking to Gilda, sniffing her hair, going full Biden on her bun.
Puts her wrap around her. They're leaving.
That's right.
Get
Hey,
in the
you. For that special someone you never expect to see again.
walk of shame in the morning.
He's all frazzled trying to catch a cab at 8 in the morning.
The perfume for one night stand.
What a crime she was taking from us so early. She could be killing it today.
She probably got cancer from shooting that spot.
Another take.
Every
All
single
right.
person at that bar was smoking. And by the way, there was no jokes about the cigarettes. That's what
That's
a New
just how it
York
was.
bar
Yeah, setting the
used to look like back then.
It's funny that we're actually talking about that phrase because I said a million years ago back on the old Conway and Whitman show, I'd gone on a date the night before and Tim asked me how it was. And I said, I'm never going to see him again. And he goes, but you liked him and he was good looking. And we knew him for a friend. I was like, yeah, I can't do it. He asked me why. And it was because as I was getting in my car, he turned me around and he Cuomo'd me. He put his hands, he like cupped them on my face. He kissed me and then pulled his face maybe an inch and a half from mine and went, hey, you.
Wow.
And I thought that was so fucking gross.
Nice.
I never spoke to him again. We were in acting class together.
We should coin a new phrase for all you ladies in the workplace or out with the creepy guy on the date. No Cuomo.
Hashtag.
Yeah, we kind of ran the no homo.
Yeah, That's right. this
we
is
ran
better.
that one in the
Ooh,
ground.
yeah.
I think no Cuomo.
That's Put it at really the end good.
of your dating
could've-
profile.
What's that?
Put it at the end of your dating
no
profile.
Cuomo.
Yeah.
That would have been perfect.
You could have said that right to him.
You're
no
absolutely
Cuomo.
right. No Cuomo.
Like no fatties.
Right.
No Cuomo.
No fat chicks. All right. Let's see. We got one more call here. Jacob, 35, Washington. Let's see. His question wants to know my thoughts on the trans YouTuber who was arrested for raping his mother.
What?
Feels like a Mad Lib.
I would imagine your thoughts are that whoever this is psychotic and what to say about it.
Unless it was in an elevator and
Right.
in context, Gina.
Right.
So,
Is it a real story?
this a real story?
Yeah.
The cop looks fairly jovial, considering the gravity of the situation. This is what was. Well, let's see if I can find Jacob. Jacob?
Nah.
No Jacob? No Cuomo? All right. Tell me when Brad shows up, by the way.
Yeah.
So the story is, I don't know, did you find it, Max Pata?
Yeah, so a controversial vlogger was arrested in Virginia for incest after audio was leaked online of her allegedly confessing to regular sex with her dementia-ridden mom. Comic character creator Christine Weston Chandler, known online as Chris Chan, was busted in Richmond on Sunday and later transferred to Central Virginia Regional Jail, where she is being held without bail.
Okay.
Yeah.
Horrible.
Dementia. Oh, my God. Once I get dementia, God knows what people are going to do to me.
Yeah, so the arrest came-
They are not going to. It's going to be payback time for the Ace Man.
You
gonna
better
be violent.
hope they have sex with you.
Yeah, that'd be
Best
my
case
best day.
scenario,
That's
yeah.
best case scenario. You're right. After Sonny transitions.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is a best case
It's
scenario.
a warning is what it is.
Boy, howdy. It's a sad realization that these kinds of Mad Lib atrocities, as Brian refers to them, years ago we were on, get the hell out of here.
Yeah.
And now it's like, oh, boy.
I guess
Another one.
Takes all kinds.
Right.
Yeah.
Only in New York.
All right, Brad Williams is here. Adam Ray's ready to go. First, let me tell you about Slumber Cloud. More than comfortable. They utilize the most advanced bedding technologies for a truly restful life. Yes, you want to rest. It's so important. Boy, every study in the world came out in the last 10 minutes said you've got to get a good night's sleep. Patented technology not found in any other bedding products to proactively manage temperature, fluctuations through the night. Technology originally used in NASA spacesuits, because it's important there. Yeah, they gave me the California King comforter, and it's great. It's not the big fat one. It's thinner, but it works so much better. Slumber Cloud temperature regulating bedding products from sheets to mattress pads can be found at slumbercloud.com. Save 10% on your purchase with our exclusive code Carolla10. That's slumbercloud.com. Use the code Carolla10. Get your 10% off and get a good night's sleep. All right, Brad is here and Adam's zooming in, and we'll do all that right after this.
And now, Alcoa presents Definitely Not a Jew on the Adam Carolla Show. Dateline, Bellefontaine, Ohio. A 34-year-old woman was charged with child endangerment after she allowed her 10-year-old son to get a tattoo from an unlicensed 16-year-old tattoo artist. The 10-year-old's name was Skylar. Definitely not a Jew.
Brad Williams, great job, Dawson. Brad Williams has joined us. Adam Ray may pop on shortly, but Brad is in studio. Brad's got dates all over the country. Bridgeport, Connecticut, Stress Factory, that'll be this Friday. Falls Church, Virginia, that's State Theater, that's coming up this Saturday. And then Irvine Improv, August 13th through the 15th. Good to see you, Brad.
Good to see you. I'm so glad that you were doing the Definitely Not a Jew bit, because that was going through my head last night as I was at Dodger Stadium.
In general.
I went to the Dodger game, and this was the first time the Houston Astros had come back to Dodger Stadium since the sign-stealing controversy.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Well, with fans, because they had come back without fans during the 2020 season, and the LA fans were lit. I saw at least 5 fights, and some Dodger fans fighting with other Dodger fans.
Oh, my God.
That happened right next to me, in the row right next to me.
Did anyone get kicked out?
Oh, yeah. Oh, the line to get kicked out. Like, there was the Dodgers lost, but it was and it was half filled by the end of the game. It wasn't because the fans had left early. Because they were getting kicked out in droves. About 12 inflatable trash cans were thrown onto the field. It was
mayhem.
It was I've been to the World Cup in Brazil. This was right there. With the intensity. There was a guy and his girlfriend, and they were Houston Astro fans. And listen, you can go to the other stadium wearing the other jersey, but just don't rub it in. Don't be an a-hole. So they score the first run.
There's a protocol, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Being the visiting fan.
Yeah, the Astros score the first run. The girl stands up with her Altuve jersey, and he's one of the most hated players in of the rivalry.
I bet you love him.
I mean, yeah.
Short guy, Jim.
Oh, okay.
He's short guy. I actually have a ball signed by him, but that's a whole other thing. So she stands up and poses to the and starts egging them on, bring it, guys, bring the heat, and don't tempt
Bags
Dodger
of
fans.
urine
The heat they brought.
There was 2 full micheladas that came in from the stands. And I'm like you, Adam. I don't want to waste my alcohol, especially with the michelada that at Dodger Stadium costs at least $132 or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, they chucked 2 full micheladas, drenched the Dodger fans around them. The Dodger fans around them got mad. They went up and started fighting with the other Dodger fans. There may have been a baseball game going on. I don't know.
Hard to say.
I didn't watch.
It is, we're going to have to put jails in all stadiums.
Yes.
And Shark Tanks in airplanes. Now we're now at that. We've devolved it as a society.
Shark cage.
A shark tank. Sorry, shark cage. A shark cage.
You put a Shark Tank and be like a Bond villain, and then dump the guy in
a shark cage. Yes, we need a place to put people now. They can no longer cooperate, get along.
Nope.
There's
only so much duct tape in the world.
And also, was it Brian Stowe?
Yes,
Was that
Brian
his name?
Stowe.
Great
Yeah,
Brian
I mean, the
Stowe,
guy was
Giants fan.
put in a coma in the parking lot. Isn't there precedent
He's still
for?
fucked up. He's still fucked up.
Oh yeah, I mean, but the point is this: you want to do that at Dodger Stadium, like show up with the Altuve jersey and start mocking people?
Not smart.
Yeah, I wouldn't do it. Like, it's just, if you go to the other stadium, especially if it's like Dodger fans, Raider fans, Eagles fans, I wouldn't wear the jersey. I would just kind of sit and watch, and if my team did something good, just do a little silent
thumbs up.
Yeah, like just to myself.
And michelada is a tough smell to wear for the rest of the game.
It's tomato juice and beer.
Yeah.
For those of you who aren't familiar, and spices.
Yeah,
So-
tahini.
You know what's so weird is deaf frat guy Josh Gardner was drinking one of those by the pool at the Cabana
Very
in
refreshing.
Vegas, and he was trying to
shotgunning it.
He was trying to sell me on it. But here's my deal with booze. I'm trying to catch a buzz. So taking a beer at like a 4.3 and then dumbing it down with Clamato, like stepping on it with Clamato. Now we have to drink 11 of them, and the calories are through the roof.
And your fingers are swollen because there's so much sodium.
Yeah, that it seems like you're heading the wrong direction. You know. Adam Ray, who's going to join us, was actually at the stadium last night as well in Boston.
Oh, was he at the Red Sox game?
No, he was not.
Oh, he went. I saw this in the bio.
Guns N' Roses.
Oh,
yeah.
Dimes and Ella Baxter will still hit the high notes. So I guess he can't, but,
So he can join us and talk to us about that. I don't know if the boys have gotten it together, the Guns N' Roses boys.
Did they arrive promptly?
Right. Are they showing up? Are they doing, are they performing? Like there was kind of a disaster the first time they tried to go out.
Oh,
right?
this has been Axel's thing since day one, since they got big, was just he would be an hour, 2 hours late. Like, backstage, legendarily backstage with like his healing guru or some sort of mystic, like going through some ritual, before he would go on stage.
And because I'm sick of only hearing this about women, what's the weight situation with Axel right now?
I think it's pudgy.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, we can
soft.
We can figure that. Hey, Adam
There
Ray's
he
joining
is.
us. Adam,
Hey, guys.
are you in Boston?
I'm in Boston. Sorry, I was just fielding some texts from Cuomo. So he sent me a titty and a dick pic.
Lucky.
Yeah. What'd you get, Brad?
I just got thigh.
Nice. Thigh's coming back, though, especially for governors.
Tell us about the concert last night.
Wow. Let me just open with a big capital wow. I heard you talking about Axel. Yeah. Does he look like the Axel of old?
Who among us does?
Axel's Axel.
We're all making changes, but he sounds great, and it begs the question: what do you want in a rock star, right? Like Paul McCartney still looks like is keeping himself intact.
Boyish good looks.
Boyish good looks sounds good, but like, would you rather have like Axel looking like that svelte, long-haired, guy
Serpentine.
like he could sell your son a cock ring before his bar mitzvah, he's just got confidence and charisma. Or do you want the pipes? And hearing him sing, I go, I would rather have that because it really made the whole thing special.
Were they prompt?
What?
Did they go on time?
Prompt means on time,
prompt.
Adam.
Yeah, prompt. Yeah. There's certain words that I'm just relearning coming out of this pandemic, and I haven't heard somebody say prompt in a while.
Well, it seems weird. It's not very rock and roll to be prompt, but I famously they're making everyone wait for 2 hours or 3 hours, like one of their last iterations, and I'm trying to figure out, was that going on?
No, they were a buddy of mine. So I took a couple pals, and Duff, the guy who's training me to get Vince McMahon also trains Duff, and that's how I got to be chummy with him. And then we exchanged our Seattle sports fandom, and just a sweet guy, and that's who got us the tickets. And we were in a spot, and Duff had told us like we're going on around 7:15. It was probably 7:18 when they went on.
Wow.
They had a couple openers. One, I wish I could remember the names. They were classic, like, you know, like thrash clit and trash spaghetti bucket, like really hard names that you're like
Narthex.
Yeah.
I like thrash clit.
Yeah. So and then Guns N' Roses came on, played a full set, played all the hits, hit all the notes.
Played everything and all the notes and ripped it. November Rain's probably my favorite because I think just being a Seattle boy that's, you know, looking out the window, wondering if your dad's coming back, singing that to yourself.
Nothing lasts forever.
Yeah, exactly. But what was great, there was one guy in front of us, drunk, carried out by, this is what I love about concerts like this, by the way. On the way, walking down, because it's at Fenway, walking down that strip of bars and restaurants, I heard 8 different guys go to different people named Peter. Peter, hey, Peter, we got it. Just meet us at the stadium, Peter. I fucking got you, Peter. Peter is such a Boston name. Like, everybody knows a Peter. All these guys were fucking trying to make sure Peter had his tickets. Then we get indoors. During Paradise City, when the line goes, was it "Where do we go? Where do we go?" This guy,
that's a sweet child of mine, but you know, whatever. It's, I mean, you know,
no.
Some of us are real fans. It's okay.
Okay, so then when they played "What's Going On," and then they played "Tub Thumpin'." They closed with "Tub Thumpin'."
I love
That's
that's
bold.
Yeah, bold move.
By the way, I should preface with this was my first concert by Guns N' Roses, and I know 3 songs. That being said, I'm going to do a deep dive.
There you go.
And also, fuck you, Brad. But this guy was getting, as they were singing "Sweet Child of Mine," drunkenly carried out by like 9 staff members, just dragged during "Where Do We Go Now" of that part of the song, and he's singing it as well, which I thought was very heroic. He was like, "Where do we go?" He's like, and he had no problem. Those are the guys you want, by the way. They recognize that they're so fucked up, they shouldn't maybe be at the show anymore. Here's the last thing I'll say from the concert experience. I'm standing out waiting for my buddy to finish his deal in the bathroom. Got a couple cocktails. Some woman walks by who looks like, do you remember the mom of Amy Adams in The Fighter? I think it was played by
Melissa Leo.
Melissa Leo.
Oh, yeah.
Take
Nice
Melissa
pull.
Leo in The Fighter, shave her head, give her bigger boobs and a tank top that doesn't fit, and have her walk by me, do a double take, and then come up to you with, let's just say, thrasher clit breath, and grab me by the shirt and try to kiss me. And at first I thought it was so unexpected, and like I just had enough of a buzz going to where I could restrain her from me.
No
and then I
Cuomo.
thought she'd maybe try and then laugh it off. And then she grabbed the back of my neck and dug her like Tony the Tiger claws into my neck. I still have the marks on my neck, and made me go like, ah. And then she pulled me real close, and her kiss turned into a headbutt. So we bonk heads, and then I just back up and I go, fuck. And then there's this guy standing right next to me, and he was like, oh shit. And I go, ah. And then she goes, well, if you just kissed me, I wouldn't have fucked you up.
And what I'm saying is, if she was the governor of New York, we'd want her head on a pike right now, but we're not.
Oh,
So you can laugh it off.
You legitimately got assaulted last night.
Legitimately. And then the guy who was at the little table who we were sharing space for our beverages, she walks away, and the guy goes, I feel bad. I go, why? He goes, she looked at me and goes, watch this, right before she did that. I go, the fuck, man?
I mean, so how's your fiance doing knowing that you're leaving her for this woman now?
Right.
You know what? She's taking it well. She's
It's
she
to be
also knew
expected.
it was coming. I told her, I go, look, sweetheart, if I go, you're close fit, and I dig that, but I'm looking for a gal with a shaved head, with a Melissa Leo Thrasher clit vibe, and if she knows how to take charge, meaning grab the back of my head in public, and you know, a headbutt is foreplay in some countries.
Did they cover any songs? Do they cover any?
Famously, Knock on Heaven's Door.
Oh, right.
Live and Let Die.
Oh,
Adam, you're embarrassing yourself.
Come on,
I forgot.
buddy.
I
The
forgot.
spaghetti incident was entire album covers.
They did Live and Let Die. They did These Are the People in Your Neighborhood from Sesame Street.
Awesome.
They did a cover of Sympathy for the Devil for Interview with the Vampire.
Wow.
They did,
Oh, really?
They did Get Out of My Dreams, Get Into My Car by Billy Ocean.
You wish.
Which I thought was an odd choice.
Out
But
of my dreams.
that's nice, Brad. See,
I'm trying.
I
You
just
gotta
wanted
do
Brad to do
shoulders.
that.
Yep.
You have to do the shoulders in order to
My
do an
car,
axle.
yeah.
Dude, he does do that really well, and it's exciting when he does it. But it's one of those concerts where you go, I don't know how you guys feel about the people that wear the concert shirt at the concert.
Well, played out.
Mm-hmm.
So they put it on, they buy it at the concert and put it on?
I'm willing to say 96% are showing up already having
Decked.
owned that piece of attire.
Yeah.
Where you guys
there
come
was-
down on the sold out stamp on the concert T-shirt? Did they have to wait until all those venues and then bring the shirts back and then stamp them?
Like
Or you
a notary?
I think they do it in the same pressing.
I don't know if they're beholden to accuracy. I think they just stamp it.
But you got to wait.
I think they just stamp it.
You wait
buddy.
to the end of the
No,
tour
no,
and then you recall
you
that.
bank on it.
Yeah. Sorry.
So, Adam, I have a question because
Please.
Did Axl try to do any sort of comedy or stuff in between songs? Because when I saw the Stones, they must have had a writer or something write horrible jokes. Because I saw them in Anaheim, California, and Mick stops the song and goes, "Oi, all right, did you guys have traffic here? Well, this is Anaheim, so you just took the monorail."
Oh.
Death.
Wow.
Oh, God.
Everyone's like, just cut, play Satisfaction.
Yeah.
Go. Paint it black. Something. Cover.
Right.
Well, that's a great question, Brad, because I think you remember when I told you when I went to Vegas and got high and went and saw Celine Dion.
Yes.
She's coming off probably her 10,000th show. And I think, understandably so, is like, look, I know I got That's the Way It Is in my back pocket. I'm going to close on My Heart Will Go On with an insane amount of CGI rain coming down on me. Or maybe it's Cuomo come. Either way, there's going to be a big closer.
Cuomo come, Thrash Clit. It's a great lineup.
Circle gets a square. So I'm watching the show, and in between each song, she would just go, "So how's everybody feeling tonight?" And you're like, "Yeah." And then she's like, "Look at my dress. It's so yellow. It's so yellow. It's so yellow. It's so yellow." And everyone's like, "Yeah, no one's debating the color, bitch. Like, what else you got?" And then she's like, "Look at me. It's so yellow. It's like," and then she paused and goes, "Celine Dion." And guess what? I'm telling you, the edible had just kicked in enough to where I was like, this is better than prior. And so, but she did that maybe 15 to 17 more times throughout the show where and it made us, my buddy and I are like, were there writers? Like what I was saying, like, was there someone side stage that was just like, the condiment pun worked?
Yes.
or was this just her being like, I want to have, this show's for me now,
I saw Celine Dion in Vegas probably about the same time, minus the edible. And I was thinking as you were saying it, see, I'm lame because I saw Celine Dion. You ate pot and saw Celine Dion. You're cool.
Right.
And I don't like that. Like, you went to a Color Me Mine. You're lame. No, I didn't. I ate a bag of weed. Oh. Well, now you're my hero.
Tell me everything.
You say I ate an edible, you can then go do whatever thing that anyone would make fun of. But now it's ironic for you.
To be fair, you can go too far because when I shot heroin and went and saw the Wiggles,
oh yeah,
I was not as cool. Not as cool.
In your defense, they were handing it out pre-show, so that's on them.
Very much so.
So, well, you got a lot of range, and I would bet you if you took a poll of the partisan crowd at Fenway last night and asked who's seen Celine Dion in the last 25 months, I do not know of anybody short of the Susan Powder who tried to sexually assault you. It's a deep dive, but she was a bald-headed chick from the TV.
Stop the insanity.
Stop the insanity.
Wow.
I don't. She's also one of these workout people who gives you super poignant tips. Like her whole thing was like, you've got to breathe. You got to breathe.
Oh, that's
you can't, and then you let it. You take it in. You let it out. But you have to breathe.
Let me
Like
write
everyone
that
here is
down.
like, it's like, all right, who amongst us who was watching this who's forgot to breathe in the last 2 days? But I'll bet you were the only guy in that stadium that saw Celine Dion as the concert before. And
Totally.
I pray that you bookended these two. I pray it was Celine Dion 2 Guns N' Roses, and you didn't step on it with any, wallflowers or something.
No, but I am taking my sister. I flew her out for her birthday, and we're going back to Fenway on Friday to see New Kids on the Block. So that's what's
Shut
getting.
your face.
But that's
Well,
only because
you and
friend of
Joey.
the show and my boy Joey.
Yeah.
Is, and this is like a hometown show that
That's
they're going
right.
to really. So
Did you get Dirty to open?
I would love nothing more than to hear Dirty cover Please Don't Go Girl.
Your brother-in-law.
Oh yeah, my dude. Yeah, I can't tell you, by the way, the amount of love he's received from friends and new fans, especially with Gina tweeting some of his tunes.
I'm a fan.
From the discussion, from us playing his music. But Brad, I think that is the move he needs to start tackling, is that arena of just slow 90s R&B pop ballads. And look, he just fought in a UFC cage match in Auburn, Washington.
What doesn't Dirty do? By the way, put that on a bumper sticker.
Hug his kids.
He does. He's a great dad.
What would you say into a microphone? Especially the fucking cage fighter who could whip your ass in a rap battle and then fucking put you in a figure 4 and choke you out.
Oh, totally, dude. It's so funny. When I used to joke to him because his son, my nephew Jackson, who's about to be, I think, just turned 8, definitely has a little potty mouth on him. And I go, hey man, and he's like, even said, he said some words where you go, oh, you're too young to know that.
Mm-hmm.
And I said to Dirty, I go, yeah, when I said we got to read to him more, I didn't mean like the lyrics to your second album. I meant like, I meant like, the Bernstein Bears, do their taxes or, something Jewy, but which is also opening for Thrash Clit, something Jewy. No, but
you got Celine, Guns N' Roses, and then was it New Kids?
Yeah, and KOTB.
Yeah, Mary Fuck Kill. But so these guys, it's like a hometown show because Boston's where they're all from. So it's gonna be crazy. The last New Kid experience I had was on their cruise where an 82-year-old woman took a shot of tequila with me and said verbatim, "So I've been watching you. I know you're friends with the band. I've got a proposition for you.
Oh, boy.
You show me where Donnie Wahlberg sleeps, and I'll fuck him for you." I go, "Hey, lady, have you negotiated before?" I go, "What do I get out of this?" She goes, "I'll tell you how it was." I was like, "He's in 219." So
you have a penchant for older ladies.
Well, there's like
orbiting you.
Making
there's like
propositions.
chick magnets and then inappropriate chick magnets, and I feel like
Oh, man.
that's you. Like you draw them all out.
He's a gilf magnet.
I'm slowly hoping. What magnet?
A
Gilf?
gilf magnet sounds like.
Yeah.
Gilf.
Well,
yeah,
look,
grandmas.
Like, you want to focus on your demo, and it's like, Kathy Griffin's got the gays, right? Fluffy's got the Latinas,
right?
And, I'm looking to really score the shaved head, Boston, just fucking, they definitely got kicked out of a Panera, earlier that day.
Are you? I should tell everyone that Adam's going to be in Austin, Texas at Romo Room, and that'll be August 25th and 26th. And then, of course, the podcast about last night as well, wherever you find finer podcasts. Yes,
we miss you, Brad. Come back, says everybody. Says everybody, including Dirty.
Oh, man. Well, if Dirty wants me back.
Hey, wait, Brad, proposition for you.
Okay. I mean,
I know
yes,
we've discussed
but
it,
okay.
and I know you're heavy into you're staying up in fatherhood. But if Dirty came back to fill out the 3, who would be the person? How about this little game? Who would be the person to add a third that would make you go, okay?
Oh, I mean, you had me at Dirty.
Oh well, this is
which is definitely a rom-com that I'm going to see next fall.
This is serendipitous because I have a theoretical 3-way conversation that must be had with the two of you.
Oh,
Well,
wait, between us 3?
Well, hold on. The hypothetical will involve you,
'Cause
but not me and Adam.
Oh, I thought I was going to get a car out of
You're
this.
stuck with me, buddy.
Damn it!
We've taken a poll around here. Would
It's
you?
all right. I like to watch. Who says that? Who am I? It's all right. I like to watch.
Mark Wahlberg.
Oh, wow. That was my Cuomo.
Oh, that was Cuomo.
Oh, that was Cuomo.
Wait, here's Mark Wahlberg doing Cuomo. I like to watch. All right. Let's go. Let's move on.
All right, Brad.
Yes.
You go first. Do you take? Here's the scenario. You
Okay.
can be with one woman, and she shall max out at an 8. So you can have 1 8.
Okay.
Or you can have 2, and it'll be a threesome, but the combined score cannot be higher than 12.
12. Okay, so you could do a 6 and a 6.
Yeah, if you want.
All right.
10 and a 2.
Well, that's just a good story. I'm trying to think of who would be like. I'm trying to think of celebrities, like who would be considered an 8, and then what like female celebrity would be considered a 6.
The tough part is celebrities are by and large beautiful people, so
Sure.
you're generally going with 8s, 9s, and 10s.
Right. Generally.
I feel like last time we were trying to find a celebrity that would be an 8 that would represent the 8s, and I thought Renee Zellweger, kind of like back in the day, cute, not a siren on screen, just a girl next door type.
Okay. If Renee Zellweger from Jerry Maguire is an 8, I think I'd go 2 6s.
Wow.
All right.
I think I'd go 2 6s. That and like 2 6s get to have a three-way with a dwarf. That makes their life. Okay,
Oh, yeah.
and I'm pretty sure we open up a portal into heaven.
Yeah.
If that actually happens.
Yeah.
Skittles rain from the sky.
Yep.
It's just fun.
It's
just good for everybody.
You have sex with a dwarf, you can check that off your thimble list. It's a little small
Brad,
container. But wait a sec. Hold on.
Oh, yeah.
What would you now? What about combined score of 10? Because that's how it originally started. I had to up it a little bit.
If it's combined score, that'd be a 5 and a 5 or a 6 and a 4. If I'm doing that, well, and also I'll say this: we're a little jaded being in Los Angeles because in LA, 6 is no offense,
Nebraska
Gina,
15.
but Kansas 9.
Absolutely. And
So-
thank you. I'm a solid 6. But I gave an example last time, too, of like
Okay.
a 4 and a 6.
Yeah.
The 2 girls that have sex with Steve Buscemi and the other guy in Fargo.
Oh, that's a good example.
Yeah. Kind
Okay.
of funny looking.
Well, if they have the accents, I'm in.
Okay.
But I think in that situation, I'd go with the 1 8.
Go with the 1 8?
Yeah.
All right, Adam, let's split it with you. Let's say the 1 8 or combined 11.
So it's a one. Okay, it's someone who's an 8 or a 5. Okay,
You can whack up the 11 any way you want.
You could have a 10 and a 1.
That's what we're doing.
Are we doing that?
Look, it's like, something from both ends of the spectrum.
So the chick you were assaulted by last night would be like a Boston 7?
Let's just say she's flashed everyone at Dunkin' Donuts. And I dig that because she's got confidence. And she's also, when the three-way gets messy and, everyone's like, all right, whose turn? Like, what? Should I do this now? She's going to take charge. She's probably going to show up with somewhat of a schedule.
Timeline.
A timeline.
An earpiece
now,
and a
would
clipboard.
you feel with the 10 and the 1, would you feel like you would overcompensate with the 1? Like, if somebody...
Make sure she's included.
Yeah. Like, here's what I'm saying. It's like when somebody says... You say to someone, what do you do? And they say it's a fucking horrific job, and you compensate. If someone goes, I'm a mechanical engineer, and you go, there you go. And they go, I work at a waste management facility in Arleta, and I have to pick the tampons out of the pool. And you go, oh, well, there you go. I bet they have a hell of a vending machine out there, right?
You got a dental plan.
Hey, job's a job, man.
There you
gotta
go.
work. Like, you know how
Paycheck.
you punch it up. You punch up when someone has a really fucking horrible job.
Yeah.
Oh,
I'm an elevator.
about
I'm an
that.
elevator mechanic, and you go. Every job has its ups and downs.
Hey, I thought I was the dad here.
The amount of people that have said that to me.
Would you think you might get self-conscious and start spending more time with the one?
Yes, I'm a people pleaser. You know what I'm saying? So I'm going to. I know that I'm going to probably start off with the one, make sure she's comfy, has the right, cheese plate. Yeah, there's snacks. And there's snacks in my three-way.
I mean, it's your dream. Why not?
Yeah, you got to have a writer for your three-way. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So probably little peanut butter Ritz.
Sure, some dog chew toys for the one.
Oh, God.
Brad.
Oh, Brad.
What? That's how you distract her to go for the 10.
It's inappropriate.
So I think at the end of the day, I think I do want to.
Jingling his keys. Go ahead, Adam.
At the end of the day, I really want to make sure that they become friends because, a 10 and a 1, like who knows outside of this three-way if they're getting along. It's like, again, like
I'll bet you if the 10 and the 1, if you photograph them next to each other, it would form a 10.
Yeah, like a bat and a ball.
It would look like a 10. Yeah.
Margot Robbie and pre-surgery Mama June.
Oh, right.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sure. So that's your 10 and your 1.
You got Angelina Jolie and anybody from Botched.
Right.
From the first act.
Yeah.
For the segment.
Yeah, before the commercial.
The A block.
Before the commercial, yeah. I mean, I don't know if you guys have watched that show recently, but put it in the queue.
Do not, Adam.
Oh,
it is
I can't.
the anything you'd ever want to see.
Anything where they're talking about their panis and they have all this
Talking about
extra
it.
skin. And
They take the camera right inside of
We got
it.
to take the skin off because of the extra panis that is built up over the.
Yeah. No, I totally get that because we just got the Discovery Plus.
It's the best.
It's the best and the worst because sometimes on the homepage you control the shows you watch, but sometimes the homepage just pops up and the homepage just goes, "Hey, my new season of My 600-Pound Life," and you're just like, "Why? I was eating. Why?
Can't do it.
Why'd you do that to me?"
Look, you guys will go along with me on this one because we don't really know where the line is anymore. Like on cable, you'll hear them say fuck every once in a while. No one, like, you can't or you can.
Yeah.
Always not sure. Like when I did the Man Show, we said to the women, our executives, we're like, how much ass crack can you show? And they were like, what do you mean? And I was like, you can't show bare ass. No, absolutely not.
Mm-hmm.
All right, but if you're doing a plumber bit,
Right, a little cleavage.
you could show an ass crack. They did it on SNL. You show an ass crack. And they were like, 3/4 ass crack. So we're like, okay.
Wow.
And then we made 3/4 ass crack shorts. So we told everyone to put on 3/4 ass crack shorts. But the point is like, we don't know where the line is anymore.
Yeah.
And I've said this a million times because I've had the same thing. You're eating dinner and they do the 600-pound life and it's the dude with his shirt off or the Biggest Loser and they're weighing in on day one and the guy's lactating and he has a D cup, but he's a dude, so they don't. And I was like, if you watch Survivor and the model is scurrying up the cargo net and her fucking bikini briefs pull down a little bit, they tile it out.
Right.
But then when the morbidly obese dude who's lactating wants to take his shirt off and stand at the truck stop scale, that's all in high def, right? And that's all at 7. And so we don't know what the rules are anymore. The rule is if you are eating lasagna and you just put your fork down when this image comes up, then it needs to be tiled down. We can no longer do the language or the amount of ass crack.
I think that's a great test. And for the tile that pops up on the main menu for My 600-Pound Life, that would not pass the lasagna test. The fork goes down.
The fork goes down.
I'm
Push it away.
Plate
shoving
is
away.
pushed forward.
Yep.
Have you watched Strange Addiction on A&E? It's another one where you go, I need some sort of a disclaimer because you'll be watching and it's like someone's like, eating soap and sucking feet And they're like, I can't start my day unless I eat a bar of soap and suck on a couple toes. And you're like, all right, I might have missed a couple car payments and forgotten my stepdad George's birthday once or twice, but at least I'm not fucking doing that. So it is a good like re-upper for just like how you're living.
Yes, they
Also,
they like to eat couch cushions too, couch foam.
couch cushions. There was one where this guy talking about 600 pound life was like getting off on fattening up his girl, and he like was getting angry when she was
dated
like,
a couple
I'm
of those.
full, and he was like, no, you're not, you Cool Whip bitch, or whatever he called it. Like, he called her something that like was snacky and fun, but like also really insulting.
This is all just to make us feel better about our fair to midland lives, right?
Oh yeah, Intervention, My Strange Addiction, all of it.
Hoarders.
Hoarders,
And if you ever have a fight with your spouse or your significant other, watch 90 Day Fiancé. You come out smelling like a rose after that.
Really?
Yeah.
I've never seen it.
Oh, it's fantastic.
Like they have 90 days to decide whether they're getting married.
I catch parts of it. For the most part, it's like, oh, these people are marrying each other for green cards or whatever, but it's actually serious. And it's like this one woman like dated this like Chechnyan dude who just needed to get into the country. He's like, no, you give women good backhand every now and then, and like in front of her dad. It's like, oh no, if she does not work, a backhand. You know, it's just like extreme. You go, okay, I'm not that. I left the toilet seat up.
I know
backhand you.
90 Day Fiancé only because Dr. Drew and his wife watch the shit out of that show.
Really?
And he's one of these people. You guys, do you know this person who doesn't think you can hear the fucking TV set when it's super loud and they're talking to you? Oh. Like, I'll call Dr. Drew at 7:30 at night and I'll go, hey, what's happening? And I can just hear 30 Day or 90 Day Fiancé like blaring in the background. And I'll be like, he's having a conversation. He's like pretending to have a conversation, but it's clear what he's doing. But he has said that that's his wife's show, and that and I know you got sucked in with your wife into the Real Housewife vortex, right? When do we start punishing women for essentially being dealers of horrible TV shows, hooking us up, good and proper for free? You know what I mean? Just getting that main vein. Because no man has ever said, I shall watch this show. We wander into the room, then we go, what are you doing, hon?
We're doing something else on the couch, and he pops down next thing you know.
Right. The next thing you know, you start going, you go, this is ridiculous. And then 5 minutes later, you're like, that Blair's a bitch. Next thing you know, you're fucking in. You're hooked up.
That's me on 90 Day Fiancé. Now
That's every bad show on TV with some chick sucking an intelligent dude into this crap vortex where time has no meaning anymore, where quality doesn't exist. And the next thing you know, instead of earning money or doing, building a treehouse with the kids, you're just fucking sitting there drooling, watching this dreck yourself.
It's true.
I don't think you're married unless you've watched an 8-hour marathon of Chopped.
Okay, interesting, because I've never seen The Real Housewives. I've never seen Keeping Up with the Kardashians. I've never seen The Bachelor. Not for me. I am, however, deep into the 6th season of hate watching Sister Wives, and now I've gotten Andy.
Hate watching.
I can't.
Yeah, you got Andy.
I know.
The
And
man was productive.
But
he
here's
paid
the
his
thing.
taxes. He's
Yes,
an American,
he
and you
is.
sucked him into the shit show.
His life is a wasted black hole now, and I kind of get polygamy now.
Yeah.
Like I don't want a plural marriage, as they say, but I get, if they want it, God bless.
And you
Salute.
can't, it's not a two-way street, because my waste of time shit shows that I watch, Starsky and Hutch. No woman will sit down and be slowly drawn into the majesty of Starsky and Hutch. They just go, you're fucking lame.
Is that
and
Huggy
they walk
Bear?
out of the room.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's no way.
Speaking of reality shows, there's a reality show waiting to happen, Brad. Our friend Justin Ruppel.
Oh, yeah.
Who's involved in a thruple.
Yes,
you
he
guys,
is.
he's a big fan of the show, by the way. And he and his sweet wife have the Daily Star just came out with this big article. I haven't gotten all the details, but this gal who I think was a mutual friend of theirs, and Justin and his wife have been married, I think, for coming on 10 years, just announced after... the opening of the article was like or in his Facebook post saying how difficult it was because they were afraid of the judgment, the friends and family that might, shun them. But they have announced publicly, and now all these outlets have picked it up because it's kind of not a normal situation to be in, but it's their mutual friend now involved in a throuple, which I don't know if that's the term or it's because his last name is Ruppel and it's threesome.
And that's his real last name.
That's amazing.
Justin Ruppel's in a throuple, which sounds like
Dr. Seuss over here.
Yeah, it sounds like a great kid's book. Like
really does.
Rumpelstiltskin. He's banging two villagers.
Also, Ruppel sound like a weird kid threat on the kickball field, like in the 5th grade.
Yeah, like the purple
you keep messing
nurple.
with me, you're gonna be in a Ruppel.
Yep.
Yeah.
The purple nurple.
Yeah.
But so my
Adam,
question
is
what
that
are
the only
logistics
reason?
on that?
Oh, sorry. I was gonna say, is that the only reason?
No, go ahead.
Is that the only reason you never came out as gay? Just because Adam Ray gay? It's just too easy.
Yeah.
Well, Adam Ray Gay was a classic nickname. I'd say the one that trumped it was probably Penis and Tits Kid.
Yeah, that
And,
stings. But you know,
you were way ahead of your time, Adam.
know.
Now it's like all this gender fluid
You'd be
stuff going on,
celebrated.
and then you had penis and tits back in the day.
you're the
By
Jackie
the way-
Robinson of chubby Jews. It's been said many times, but I shall reiterate it on the podcast.
Yeah, they retired my my purple sweatpants that were covered in fruit roll-up. But I want to throw a little shout out to Dustin Brody, who came up with Penis and Tits Kid in 1993.
Right.
And now he's a writer.
Oh yeah. Oh no, that's
With gems like that. I mean, come
Now
on.
he works for Cuomo.
Yeah, there you go.
all right. Let me hit a spot, and then we'll break and we'll do some news. Word tune. I'm working on my 6th book. Thank you very much. So I know about writing and what it's like to meet a deadline. Don't waste precious time agonizing over the perfect sentence. Word tune. Hit deadlines on time every time. This is such crazy technology. I've been using this. You take a sentence and you write it in, and it knows what you're saying, and it'll give you a sort of friendly version of it. It'll give you a sort of exact version of it.
Just like, you don't need this.
It's amazing technology. First AI-powered online writing tool that understands meaning, so it knows what you're saying, not just reading the words and trying to figure out the correct spelling of them. It gets what you're saying, and it'll suggest ways to make your writing more clear, compelling, and authentic as well. Ideal for professional writers looking for an edge, managers aiming to make their point perfectly, or anyone whose writing needs an occasional tune-up. Works with Google Docs, Slack, Outlook Web, WhatsApp, and more. It is WordTune, right, Dawson?
Our listeners can try WordTune for free at wordtune.com/Adam. If you're away from your computer, go to wordtune.com/Adam on your mobile phone, enter your email, and we'll send you a link to make it easy to get started. To help you get help writing your emails, reports, presentations, resumes, blogs today, go to wordtune.com/Adam.
All right, we'll take a break, come back with the boys and the news right after this.
Give me the news with GLAAD. News with Gina GLAAD. Breaking, viral, weird crime, protest, politics. Give me news with Gina GLAAD. Stuff they saw on TMZ. Joe Biden, Kamala. Meet news with Gina GLAAD.
The news with Gina GLAAD.
Well, Gina, breaking news for you.
What?
So we don't have that Dolly clip yet, huh? The fuck? Why aren't those people send it over?
Yeah, in the first segment, Matt came up to me and said that they received the message and they're getting it, and they still haven't.
All right, well, fuck it. It was just this clip. I was doing some news show yesterday, but they brought up, but I was going to bring it up to the table. They brought up the whole Dolly Parton has weighed in on the Britney Spears situation, which you're probably aware of.
Yeah, she's always very empathetic.
Yeah. Oh, no. It's just Dolly says, fuck that cunt. I'll take the money. I could buy 5 roller coasters with that kind of bread and get a third tit.
Rebuild the Dixieland Stampede with that.
That's right. I could finally afford that third tit I've been looking at.
On the back.
People just, they can't, 2's not enough in some states,
Now, first thought you're not going to like, Gina, which is I didn't hear jack squat out of Dolly Parton for her first 77 years. Now she's chiming in on every single subject in the nicest way.
No.
Yes.
Let me tell you why that's happening. She has always been Dolly. She has been Dolly since the late 70s. All of a sudden, there is a renaissance of people loving her, and like her publicist, I think, has been pushing her. But I think that people ironically love the Golden Girls. They ironically love Dolly. There's nothing ironic about either of those
All
things.
right,
By the
but
way,
what I'm saying is
she's been asked when she's never
started
been asked
in
before.
the last like 10 minutes.
Agreed.
I'm saying
That's true.
Because everyone think back. Like, just think back on old Dolly. Like, did she have a hot take on the Exxon Valdez? You know what I mean? Like, I shouldn't say shit about anything.
But she doesn't have a hot take on anything.
Everything about everything. All right, fine. Everyone loves Dolly. You have to love Dolly. But I was thinking about Britney, and I was thinking about conservatorships, and I would say, if I was her lawyer and I was like arguing, and they're like, because the argument is, does she need it? Does she need it? Well, look, she's fine. She's got a stable relationship. Right. She's paying her bills. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
She's not getting her head shaved off at the Fantastic Sam's and all that kind of stuff. But my argument really would be, right now, there are 300 people outside of this courtroom, mostly fat dudes wearing blonde wigs and sundresses. None of them have a conservatorship. So how are we working this shit?
Exhibit
The
A
only
through
criteria
Q.
can't be I earn money.
That's true.
Every single person at 2 in the afternoon who's outside of that courtroom with the free Britney sign that's scrawled on a 12-pack box, every one of them needs a conservatorship way more than Britney Spears does.
Adam,
and I bet you none of them have one.
You've already answered your own question because you used to have that free cockfights for
Raider fans.
Yes.
Free cockfights for Raider fans. You just arrest everyone that shows up to that.
Yes.
You say there's a Britney Spears hearing. Whoever shows up, and have it be for 1 o'clock on a Tuesday, and whoever shows up, they get put into a conservatorship.
All on some sort of disability fraud, all on deadbeat dads, welfare cheats.
Or even worse, an influencer.
Some unemployment fraud.
Yeah.
I mean, it's all going to be there in that crowd.
You're right. That's a very good point.
All right. Sorry.
Shall we?
Go
Okay.
ahead.
Well, Tahoe's beautiful. Everybody likes to go to Tahoe. I've been. It's pristine. It's bucolic. It's gorgeous. Hold off on Tahoe just for a little while.
What?
NBC News reports that officials are closing some areas on the south shore of Lake Tahoe after some chipmunks have tested positive for the plague. Not a Mad Lib. El Dorado County spokeswoman.
I was toying with killing myself earlier today, but
this is the
he's
final
helped me
straw.
make my decision.
The new Chip and Dale movie is so depressing.
It's like 28 days later. The plague is, she said, the spokeswoman, Carla Haas, says the plague is naturally present in some areas of California. It is an infectious bacterial disease that tends to be spread by chipmunks and other rodents and fleas. For humans, symptoms can show up within 2 weeks of exposure. They include fever, nausea, weakness, and swollen lymph nodes. If caught early, it can be treated with antibiotics, but just, go somewhere else for vacation.
These are
right now.
biblical times we're living in now,
100%.
right? These are signs.
Yeah.
Bats give COVID.
Towns
chipmunks
on
give
fire.
the plague.
I used to,
Well, the last
she
last
has
time
raped his mom who's in has Parkinson's. I used to make fun of the religious cults, or like, we're going up to the top of the mountain, we've sold all our belongings, we're waiting for the rapture. I wouldn't make fun of that group. They said we're heading to the mountain.
I might go with them.
That's right.
I mean, we make fun, but how nice does like a week with the Amish sound?
Oh my God!
Fantastic.
Just like, you just churn butter. You don't look at your phone.
Yeah, raise barns.
Raise a barn. Listen to a bunch of Weird Al tunes. I assume that's playing nonstop.
Eat Scrapple.
Yeah, sounds great.
I feel like I saw the movie at an advanced screening before it came out, because on my third marriage, Carolla, I went to Tahoe.
Yeah, Phil.
And we had a nice little vacay. I went to a day spa at a medical conference. Okay, it was for how to make your urethra hotter, and so meeting after meeting, and I found a couple chipmunks in our tree. I like to do a lot of climbing when I'm in Tahoe. And I brought them back into the house, and my wife at the time goes, well, who are those guys? And I go, well, you shut your fucking mouth. And then I laid them down on a little picnic blanket and started rubbing their bellies. Next thing you know, I've got excessive diarrhea and shivers. And little did I know it was the bubonic chipmunk plague. We'll be right back.
This is horrible. I love Tahoe.
Yeah,
I had my bachelor party in Tahoe. Adam showed up to my
I had my
bachelor
bachelor party in Tahoe.
There you go. I mean,
wait a second.
We might be Eskimo brothers. But Adam, I was just remembering that
so fun
because we went on the boat, we went to the steakhouse. It was great, and then there was the night the professional, let's just call them balloon artists, came to the hotel room.
What they can do with a set of nunchucks and some bubble gum will blow your mind.
So we were watching the professional balloon artists, and then one of my friends apparently was really wanted to talk to you, or really had something, right? Remember that?
Yeah, dude.
You tell the story.
This guy, fuck, one of Brad's dear friends. Like, look, already watching professional entertainment with a group of dudes in a room, it's like, it's not like, oh, fucking yeah. Like, it's a little, there's some socially awkwardness moments to it. But Brad's friend, God bless him, I've seen him now over the years from so many shows and hangouts at Brad's place, decides that this is the opportune time to catch up. Oh. So I'm watching this, and there's music playing. These girls are doing things to Brad I didn't know that were legal in Tahoe.
Just balloons. They're just folding balloons. They're just twisting balloons. That's all.
To be perfectly candid, they're slapping him with things that where you're like, all right, it was more funny than hot, to be honest, for the first 15 minutes. And just watching Brad's reaction. But so he'd be like halfway through, like, let's say they'd slap Brad's taint, and then he'd be like, so you're from Seattle, right? And I was like, shut the fuck up. and then literally like they both like try to suffocate Brad with their balloons. And then he was like, so you said like it's Dirte, or does he go by Tim? I go, dude, I'm gonna kick you in your fucking Tahoe taint if you don't shut. So cut to, by the way, we go down to the craps table, and if you think you have seen it all at the craps table, imagine Brad walking up to a craps table when guys are already on a roll and see how they think their luck is about to change for the better.
Right.
Not only does this motherfucker go, give me the dice, and get on an actual roll for a couple guys. I think at one point, one of them was like rubbing Brad's head because they were so superstitious about his arrival. It was incredible.
The crazy part about me playing craps is the casino can really fuck me over because I just have to take their word for whatever the dice is.
Right.
I'm just sky hooking it over the craps table like, it was a 7 again. Damn.
I went to Tahoe. We rented out a cabin. I had to share a bed with my friend Ray, who had ringworm.
Oh, God.
And I'd spent like 3 nights with him sharing the same, queen size bed. But it's kind of interesting because people sort of sleep how they live. Like Ray was always the kind of guy that when we were a kid and you were eating, he would just, someone would go, I'm done, you guys can finish my fries, and then Ray would spit on the fries, and then he'd claim them in the name of Spain. But he literally slept. He's one of these people who sleep. I'm a low self-esteem sleeper. I always have one foot hanging off of the bed on my side, so I know I'm at the edge or whatever. He not only moved toward the middle, he would start getting like diagonal as well, and he had ringworm. So you would find yourself in like I was in a dog basket. I'd sleep how a dog sleeps in a basket, like trying to make a little dam of pillows, and he would literally end up crossways on the bed, like splayed out as wide as he could. And I was like, you sleep like an ass, like you live like an asshole, but that's how you sleep. That way too.
Man. Why did you have to share a bed on your bachelor weekend?
Yeah. Because the other room had Jimmy and his cousin Sal, and it was essentially a convection oven of man ass in gas. Like this
Who
was
picked
the
this cabin?
biggest
Man ass and gas.
there
No
was,
flash for free.
the people that built the cabin said, well, this room sleeps 4 and this room sleeps 2 and this is whatever. But the other one was Jimmy and his cousin farting up the entire and that that thing when it's cold outside, so you just run the space heater all night.
No, weaponize it.
I walked into that fucking room at like 10:15 in the morning and slung the door open and was hit with a hot wave of ass. It's just like, because when you live in it, you slowly kind of get conditioned to it. It's like
you got to high on your own supply. Yeah.
Yes. No, I got it fresh.
Now, most guys want to be hit with a hot wave of ass on their bachelor party, but not in that way.
Not Jimmy and Sal's ass. So I chose the room, and for some reason, Baby Doll Dixon got his own bed, his own room. I don't know how that worked.
You got hit with a hot wave of ass, and you caught a disease. And none of that in the fun way.
And no female insight.
Yeah.
I've shared a bed with a dude with crabs and a dude with ringworm, and never caught either. Never got either one.
Now, did Jimmy and Sal have tapeworms? So it was like, all right, ringworm, tapeworm, like
scabies. Yeah,
fight,
herpes simplex,
worm fight.
Sorry, Gina. We're
all right. So. Some sort of Olympic news during the equestrian show.
Oh, you got to picture Jeff Ross.
Is he there too?
I just want you to picture this because you'll only laugh if you know Jeff Ross because we talk about like how sincere he is.
Yes.
At some point, we're like out on the boat touring the lake, and people were like jumping off the boat into the water into the lake, and Jeff Ross he had like a Rolex, and it came off when he dove in, and it like slipped off his hand, and it started to make its way to the bottom of the lake. But it was only like 2 feet away, but it was like,
Yeah.
And he like kind of underwater kind of leaned forward and grabbed it and brought it back up. And he kept saying, the captain saw it. He said I was a hero. A hero. I'm like, well, you and the guys from 9/11, like, it's a $9,000 watch. You won after it. I don't know. The captain said I was a hero.
Of your own watch.
He could have been pretty high.
Anything's possible.
I do remember Jeff Ross saying the captain said he was a hero.
Love it. That's amazing.
Well, during the equestrian show jumping competition at the Tokyo Olympics earlier this week, a number of horses were reportedly spooked by something as they jumped over obstacle number 10, and they all got spooked on obstacle number 10. They think they know the reason for that, and we have a picture of it. It might be that next to that obstacle, there's a giant life-size statue of a sumo wrestler squatting. And it freaked out the horses. As the riders and horses come around to make that jump, they see this giant statue squatting, and that seems to be enough to rattle the animals as they're going over the jump.
Speaking of hot wave of ass, if that thing turns around.
And does that have to be there?
Yeah, why?
But nobody, I mean, I guess they're trying to culturally dress it up, but these guys, they didn't do the math on like what freaks out a horse.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, let's fire a starter's pistol, right? Right before they leap, try to clear the body of water. Like,
that's also a very specific addition, like a bush or like that little mini stage he's on. Like that seems like it has to be there. But like if they're like, hey, what time does the sumo statue arrive? And where are we putting it? Like maybe check with, I don't know, a couple horse. Like how does that go? That also seems like a distraction. Or maybe like they were like, look, if you're a true horse, nothing will phase you.
Well, and have you seen the viral video? And I hate this, by the way, and I hate when people forward it to me, where apparently cats are afraid of cucumbers. So there's like a smash cut of like putting like a cucumber behind your cat, and they turn around, they leap in the air. I fucking hate that shit, but everyone thinks it's really funny. So if a cucumber can scare a cat, look at what they're doing to scare these horses.
I tell you, those two balloon artists from my bachelor party were not afraid of cucumbers. They were very cucumber friendly.
They're cucumber
Which, by the way,
forward.
you know who said that to me, buddy? Your Brad, when he was asking me what my diet's like during the fucking show. He was like, "So, dude, you look like you do a lot of like calf raises. Is that like a weekly thing or just a week?"
Shut the fuck up.
Can I ask? I've said this a million times, and we need this. It's the same people. When you I used to say that I used to sit next to Dr. Drew. We'd be on the road. He'd always have to talk to his wife. His wife is fucking thick as a cinder block. She never understood anything. No social cues. And he'd go, okay, we'll do. Okay, we'll do. We'll do. All right, okay, then I'll see you. All right, then I'll see you. Oh, we land at 10. All righty then. All righty then. At some point, I grabbed the phone and went, he wants to get the fuck off the phone. You're not picking his rhythm up. People like that person at the party.
Yeah.
Because it happens all the time where, there's a group of people and somebody, the widow, the fireman wants to say a few words before we begin the 5K, and she's talking about losing her husband, and there's someone like talking to you loudly, and all you can do is kind of do a weird head move where you kind of look at the person who they should be looking at. You turn toward them a little, and you kind of put your chin out a little, like, oh yeah, so here's where we need to be. Were you doing that move? And then what's up with people who don't get that gesture?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You turn sort of 45 to them, and you kind of give them the.
And they mean well, but they can't pick up.
Yes. And when someone tells you guys to shut up, you don't tell someone to shut up with a sniper's bullet. You do it with a fucking shotgun.
Yeah.
You're going to get fragged. You know what I mean? At some
Scatter
point,
shot.
somebody's going to go, hey, fellas, ladies, over there, please. She lost her husband. You're going to get pulled right into this
They're going to
thing.
go, shut up, and they're going to go, shh. Like, I'm telling you to be quiet.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, I had a drunk woman on a plane once who I got into my seat, and she was already hammered. She had like 4 mini bottles on her tray that she had brought onto the plane, and she saw that I needed to pee at one point. And the plane was getting ready to take off, and she goes, do you need to pee? And I was like, yeah, because she saw me kind of squirming. And by the way, this is before I had headphones on and was asleep, and then had woken up, and she kept poking me with my headphones on to try to make small talk, and I would go, what's that? And she's like, heading on to the flight. And I was like, I'm wearing headphones, but I think it's like 4 hours. And I put them back on. She kept poking me. So again, just not picking up that like headphones means I'm checking out of this one. Then she could see I need to pee and goes, I did it after pee. And I was like, yeah, because I hit the call button. They'd come over and been like, hey, we're getting ready to take off. And she leans into me with her just fucking heavy Jack and Coke breath and just goes, you should just make her run for it. And I was like, to the bathroom. She was like, she says, what are they going to do? Go, oh, you can't pee. We're going to take off anyway. I go, I think that's exactly what they're going to do. She's like, you just got to do it. Just got to do it. But that was the last time I saw Cuomo on a flight, on a commercial flight.
The headphones are basically the ear version of pulling the eye shade down.
Yes.
I'm checking out of this fucking conversation.
Yes, whenever I get on a plane, the first thing I do is put my headphones in, and they're never plugged into anything. It's just that's me showing that I'm not interested. I don't like small talk on planes.
All right, let's bring it home, Gina GLAAD.
You got it. I'm Gina GLAAD, and that's the news.
You Cool Whip bitch.
Gina.
That was the news.
Well, live dates for Brad Williams, of course, Bridgeport, Connecticut, Falls Church, Virginia, Irvine Improv, all coming up. Bridgeport is Stress Factory. That is this Friday. And then there's Church Falls, Virginia. That is this Saturday. So go to Brad Williams. Comedy.com.
Thank you.
And Adam Ray, Austin, Texas, coming up the Romo Room, August 25th and 26th. About last night, of course, the podcast. And am I missing someone? You can go to my website. I got live shows coming up all over the place. Until next time, Adam Carolla for Brad Williams, Adam Ray, Ball Bryan, and Gina GLAAD. Say it. Mahalo.
Well, if you just kissed me, I wouldn't have fucked you up.